Good day, gamers. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 3 of my Regrowth Let's Play. Last time I was working towards cotton, and I made a kind of critical error that I'm sure some of you have probably pointed out in the comments by now. Sugarcane plus pumpkin get you poppy seeds. If you want melons, you need pumpkin and carrot. So let's get some melons going. That would be a little bit better, huh? And then I can cross those melons with this barley and get my cotton, and life will be good for all. As you can see, the wheat farm is spreading, and I've got my carrots and my potatoes on their way. Let's get back to the quests. We need to create a single daybloom so that we can start generating some mana for Botania. Let's take a look at the Lexica Botania and see what it takes to make a daybloom. It is a generating flora and begins right here. It is one of the most simple possible generating flora. And it describes their usage and tells you need 2 mystical yellow flowers, a mystical light blue petal, and a mystical orange petal. Well, I spent some time with my stack and change of floral fertilizer, and I gathered an awful lot of flowers. So, I need 2 mystical yellow petals. What was that? Light blue and orange? This is why I like being able to look them up in NEI now. The first time I was messing with Botania, you weren't able to do this as easily. Yellow, yellow, orange, light blue. I will never remember the colors because I don't think in colors. One of those side effects of having a difficulty seeing some of the colors. The other side effect being I'm here looking through and I don't see an orange flower because, you know. But that might just be my usual standard inventory blindness versus being actually colorblind. Alright, now we're gonna need a few seeds for this. And I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm going to dig up a couple of these early wheat plants, analyze them to make sure that they're not awesome. They're probably not because they stacked up. Yeah, they're simple 1-1-1s, so we can sacrifice these to the petal gods. So, 2 yellow, a light blue, and an orange becomes a daybloom. And we'll do the same with the other one. Oh, except we need to put some water back into the petal apothecary. Bump, 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 bump. There we are. We've got 2 of them. And once we hand in the quest, we can get either 5 nightshades, which work exactly like the daybloom, but function at night. However, I believe they're slightly... It works as long as the daybloom can't, but only half the speed. So, maybe not as good. And it's basically the same price except different flowers. Blacks, purples, and grays. So I think I'll take the dayblooms because it's a better flower. And I'm planning on skipping as much of the nights as possible. Speaking of which... pumpkin seeds, you can go away. Whoops, I need to get another cross crop on there. Speaking of skipping the night, because I've been attacked by so many spiders at this point, I actually have enough string to make the bed that I've been after. By the way, I made myself a bunch of oak slabs and oak wood planks before the episode using the method that I showed last time. So now I've got my bed. I don't have to worry near as much about dying because I'll respawn in my little area here, which means I can feel a little bit braver about going out and fighting some monsters if I ever want to get monster materials. Also, I'm going to need to be expanding my area sometime soon, if only because, well, I want more space to work with. Okay. I probably want to gather up a bunch of this dirt at some point, don't I? That might be for the best. There's so many things that I could be doing. It's so hard to just judge exactly what I should do with my time. Let's get these dayblooms down, get them generating some power for me. And if I take a look at my Lexica Botania, it will tell me that a good way to set up a daybloom is to make certain that you have a space between each of them. You don't want them right next to each other or they do very poorly. The ones that have more next to them do worse and worse and worse. Also, we know that we're going to want a mana spreader and to be able to gather from those dayblooms. And if we read through the section on the mana spreader, it will tell us that it can gather from a target, I believe it says about 5 blocks away. I'm not seeing the relevant section though, but that's because I'm skimming through really quickly. Anyway, point is, that if we want to have our mana spreader living, say, right here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, nope, we want it to be over 1. So right in line with the Petal Apothecary, I'm going to use some planks to simulate it for the moment. And we're going to want our Dayblooms to be here. All right, there's lava down there. There, and right where that torch is. By the way, if you hold shift while you're holding the book and you're pointing at, well, let me put down a Daybloom and show you. And you right click, it'll open the Daybloom section. If you're pointing at something that can do the Minecraft wiki and you right click, well, it'll pause the game by pulling up the menu and pull up the Minecraft wiki page on the appropriate block in your browser. This is a fantastic mod. This book is my favorite thing that I have ever seen. Okay, so why am I setting them just like that? Well, that's because I'm going to take some of this dirt and we're going to stick it down here. And the reason I want it down there is just so that it's taking up less space, you know? And it seems cleaner. There we are. We can put our Daybloom, Daybloom, Daybloom. I believe they can go 3 out like that, which is 5 spaces away from the mana spreader. I may be wrong. They may be able to go further, but this is actually going to be more room than we actually need them to cover at the moment, so we'll be fine. Save my dirt. Don't want to be losing that. There we are. And don't worry, I have plans to make use of that lava in the future as well. And then once you have that set up, you can easily grab the spots in between as your next place to put more Dayblooms. Now, these need a clear shot of the sky, so you're not going to be able to cover them with covers or anything, but if you walk the corners, you can easily walk around here. Ooh, I hear... Ah, how did you get in here? Ah, that's a nasty one, too. Stop it, blue slime. No, I'm dying. Whew, that was close. Alright, we're good now. The little ones are easy. It's only the big one that's ever a challenge. Whew, that was, that got exciting, huh? Alright, so as I was saying, if you are walking diagonally, you can easily avoid falling down the holes. It's not a problem. Assuming you don't strafe around or rush too much the way I do. And very soon we'll end up getting a step up utility built for us from Botania. So we'll be okay. And if you draw this line here between points, everything here will be within range of the mana spreader. Alright. Now what's this mana spreader I keep talking about? Well, it's the primary way of collecting mana from the Dayblooms and moving them to a specific place. And also, more importantly, it's our next quest, spreading the love. We need to create a mana spreader and a diluted mana pool. Let's... Really? Why am I getting so many of these? That is odd. Alright. Let's eat some so that we can start regenning. Let's see. That mana spreader. Very simple recipe. Ooh, you can get up to Gaia mana spreaders. Created with any petal and 7 living wood. The diluted mana pool, on the other hand, also simple, but maybe not quite as simple. We actually have more white flowers than anything. Diluted mana pool is made... Nope, it's even better. It's even easier. 5 living rock, but we're going to need to make at least 2 of those. Not a problem. Let's get this going and start collecting some mana. Petal there. And living wood. And then make a couple of these diluted mana pools. You know what? Let's take a look at the quest book and make sure that I'm not going to get one of them as a reward. Nope, I'm going to get 32 floral fertilizer, a Hydrangea, which is really nice, and 8 more Dayblooms. Pretty happy about that. Oh, but we need to get to the regular mana pool first. Okay, so this living wood seems to be able to channel and direct mana around the world in ways you never would have thought possible, and the living rock hoards mana directed at, only releasing it under direction of the wood. To create the mana pool, we will need to use a diluted mana pool in a mana pool with a tiny bit of mana to get the regular mana pool. So we're going to stick a diluted mana pool over, well, give it the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right over here. Excellent. And then we're going to stick our mana spreader pointing at it. Oops, that is pointing the wrong way. It will point the opposite direction you are standing. All right. Now, to use the mana spreader requires a wand. I'm going to need to get a Wand of the Forest to really make proper use of this. Wand of the Forest is made with living wood twigs and any 2 leaves of my choice. There are 128 possible combinations according to NEI. And the living wood twigs are made like sticks, except you only get 1 per craft. So I'm going to need 3 of these. And you know what? I am going to do a purple and yellow wand because I'm vain like that. So, yellow flower and a purple flower. Bump. Bump. Put you away, put you away. I'll eventually end up moving my Botania chest over here near everything else and probably doing something else with the rest. And here we are. We have our purple Mentat Wand of the Forest. While holding the Wand of the Forest, I can see the particles traveling from the mana spreader. And if I right-click on it, I can get the status of the current amount of mana contained. As you can see, well, with it being nighttime, these guys really aren't producing much. But even in daytime, Dayblooms are not the fastest producers in the game. They move relatively slowly. Which is why we're also going to be making use of these Hydrangeas. And if I've got my figuring right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I will actually be able to eventually, when I'm not dropping things into the void of lava below me. You know, this lava it's going to be useful someday, but right now it is really kind of a pain in my butt. Yeah, that'll do. This is not going to be the most efficient pool for a Hydrangea, but it will be pretty useful in the long run. Now, the reason I'm giving this some time is because these Dayblooms need time to generate. But you can see that the Diluted Mana pool is starting to get some mana in there. And if I grab the other Diluted Mana pool and point at it, I see that it's not quite enough yet, but I can toss it in there and it'll float around waiting until there is enough. Or I can pick it back up. I believe that item sitting in the mana pool will not decay, but that might be an upgrade, and I'm misremembering things, so take that with a grain of salt. Bump, bump, bump. Throw away a whole bunch of cracked sand, but that's okay. It's not like we don't have gobs of the stuff. Now, what I'm building here is going to be a pool that will generate a fair bit of mana from these 2 points, because we're only being given 2 Hydrangeas for free. And the way this pool is going to stay filled, and eventually will be upgraded to actually cover all 4 of the corners. There we are. As you can see, this is now a whole bunch of infinite water sources that will basically never go away. Oop. What are you doing? You good now? You're good now. Now, if I toss this in, you can see that it immediately pops back out as a mana pool. Excellent. Now I can get rid of our diluted mana pool, put our normal mana pool back, watch the spreader send things to the regular mana pool, which I'm pretty happy about. And if I check my quest book, now I get the 2 Hydrangeas and the 8 more Dayblooms, which will significantly increase our mana production potential. And unlocks a very fun next quest. So let me show you what the Hydrangea does. If I put him here, he will... It's not actually visibly using up the water. The way the Hydrangea... Whoops, wrong block. There we are. While passive mana generation can be easily achieved through Dayblooms, different means of doing so might come in handy. The Hydrangeas will suck up... Oh, there it goes, you saw it. Any still water in a 3x3 area around it on the same height, creating mana from it. They also seem to function faster during rain. Who would have thought? So, with a Hydrangea there and a Hydrangea there, this guy is going to suck that corner and that corner. It doesn't work very fast, but it does a pretty good job. And now we are going to be producing mana much faster than before. If I keep right-clicking, Oh, nope, the mana spreader grabs it off of the Hydrangea way too fast. But yeah, we've got some decent mana production going now, and with the application of 8 more Dayblooms, it'll go even faster. Soon as I get that into place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Yes, it's a mess. I'm okay with that, though. I hope you can survive it. Yay! You know what? That might be lava under there. Nope, it's not. Good. There we are. Now, we are at the maximum mana production potential that we have at the moment. It is very easy to make more of either of these flowers. The hydrangeas just require more petals. You need 1, 2, 3 cyans, a pink, a mystical blue, and a blue mana petal. And this is where things get a little more interesting. If I shift click on this, I can see that I can put any... where did it go? There we are. I can put any mystical petal into the mana pool. Wow, that is just a really specific... It covers everything. And it shows you how much mana it's going to use, which is very, very little to make a mana petal. But it still uses some. You have to get some Dayblooms, or I suppose the nighttime variant, set up and functional before you can build the Hydrangeas normally. This pack just kind of shortcuts you to the more fun part, which is making the specialty items. So, oh, look at that. What a wonderful world unlocked. I forgot about that. The lexicon of Botania mentions a wand that lets you see the flow of mana more clearly. Yep, we completed that accidentally because I knew I was going to need one. Whoops. Next on the list, and this is where things start to get really exciting, it's essential. You think you may have found a better way to produce some better materials. We need to create essence seeds. Ooh, it's going to give me an ender pearl. I like that. So essence seeds are crafted with magical crops by tossing a seed into a mana pool. Very simple. We're going to be able to mass produce essence seeds pretty easily in this one. But wait a second. If we're using AgriCraft, does that mean our magical crops are going to have to go through AgriCraft as well? You bet. Let's get these analyzed, and they're both growth 1. Okay. We're going to toss this guy into... Oh, we're going to wait for that to gain more mana before we can do so. Mana does not generate quickly. It's going to take some time. By the way, you're using the mana... yes. You shift... Whoops. Function, bind mode, function mode. There we are. If you shift right-click the mana spreader, you can change... No. Hang on. Why are you not doing the thing I think you're supposed to be doing? Bind you to that? Is that what I want to do? No, I want you in function mode. And then I want to shift left click. Why is it not working? Hang on just a moment. I need to look up the Wand of the Forest. It is not functioning the way I expect it to. So, the Wand of the Forest... Bind mode, it can be shift right clicked on a compatible block to select it, shift right clicking elsewhere binds it. 2 modes can be freely switched between. Shift right clicking a block allows it to be rotated around the axis of the side it's clicked. Huh. So maybe I need to re-enter bind mode. There we go, that's why. Now I can hold shift and right click and rotate this. Come on. Work with me here, Mana Spreader. You're not doing the things I really want you to do. But yeah, you can change the block orientation around based on where you're right-clicking. And it will continue to try to fire off mana beams in the direction relative to where you put it. There we are. I don't know why it's functioning quite this way. It's hard to target these things. I'm not a giant fan of the targeting in this game, in Botania. There we go. Once you are looking at the mana spreader, you can see what it is targeting. There we go. And now this is sending it to the mana pool again. That was a mess trying to show you that. Apologies that took quite so long. And here we go. We get our first essence seeds. Fantastic. Now, if I take those essence seeds and I run them through the seed analyzer, yup, they have growth, gain, and strength stats. As such, we can spread them throughout the entire farm plot simply by planting them here and giving them time. What you cannot do, on the other hand, let me set all of these up, is grow them with bone meal. Any attempt to grow them with bone meal will actually reset them back to... or maybe I can grow them with bone meal. That's not supposed to work. Anyway, that's super exciting for me. I'm happy. In fact, one of the next detection tasks, it wants me to get 2 essence dust. Okay, let's grab that. That must be a bug in the pack. It's not supposed to be possible to do that like that. But I'm certainly going to take advantage of it right now. There we are. Every time it fully grows, you will get an essence dust. 2 essence dust will complete this quest and allow me to get 4 more essence seeds as well as an ender pearl. And because I know that I'm going to need a lot of essence seeds over time, I'm going to get these 4 set up so that I can leave that to grow all the way across and harvest these as they become available. Hey, look at this. We have carrot seeds and melon seeds. Fantastic. We win. All right. Let's continue our quest for cotton. Take a bit of a break from Botania and magic crops for a moment. Give stuff some time to grow. We're going to put away the rose red and the poppy seeds and the melon slices, carrots, all kinds of stuff that we got from digging all of that up. And we're just going to put the melon seeds on here and get it fully grown with a little bit of the bone meal. Now, those melon seeds, when crossed with the sugarcane, or no, not the sugarcane. I don't need to cross it with the sugarcane. I need to cross it with the barley, don't I? Cotton seeds. No, I need dandelion seeds. And sugarcane plus melon equals dandelion. Wow. You'd think that I could have, remembered how some of this works, but clearly that is not actually within the realm of possibility and is crazy talk and should be ignored. Okay. So what you should... Oh, natural nuances. Never mind. Apparently, there's another quest before I get into the magical fertilizer. A number of useful plants are proving troublesome to obtain. You wonder if you could employ essence to create these, but a synthetic means of doing so evades you. Maybe you might manage it by breeding crops. So, nature seeds are created in this pack by combining essence seeds with sugarcane. Let's get our crossbreed going. I love these quests. I am having so much fun with this pack and playing around with the crossbreeding mechanics and all of it. It's just good. It's good times. And get you on there. Get you grown. Huh. These essence seeds aren't responding, but these essence seeds were. That is a curious thing. That is a very curious thing. Hang on a second here. So yeah, most of them are responding. It seems that once they start growing, then they will continue responding, but you have to wait for them to get that first step. Okay, there's our dandelion. Now we're good. Let me grab... Oh, I already have my barley seeds. All of this can be dug up and is no longer useful. Crops. Grow some dandelion and some barley, and now we have our cotton ready to be created. As you can see, you can go through a lot of bone meal very easily do this. Be careful you don't use bone meal that you wish you didn't. Pay attention. So yeah, I'm going to give this some time to grow, these some time to spread, collect some essence from these guys, and once I have my nature seeds, I'll be back. And success! Nature seeds have been spawned. Also, the cotton seeds spawned, and I moved them over to their own pad so that they could begin spreading and hopefully improving. Well, that's kind of something that I'd like to take care of to help close out the episode. Let's take a look at actually dealing with everything that we've created and analyzing all of the seeds from the sugarcane and the wheat. Now, the fastest way to do this, honestly, is just to tear the whole thing down, because this way all of the seeds are going to stack up if they are the same. And the ones you're really going to want to look at are the ones that don't stack. Anything that's stacked is probably going to be from early on and not that great. Like if I take a look at this sugarcane, growth 2, gain 2, strength 2. Meh. I take a look at this guy, growth 3, gain 4, strength 3. All right, so that's actually kind of nice. And then you put them through one at a time. And I believe it is possible to pipe in and out of this analyzer. So later on, you will in fact be able to automate this slightly. And don't even bother really looking at the stats until after you get them all analyzed, because, as you saw, some of them will end up stacking up extra while you're analyzing them because they came out with the same stats. Now, as I said, strength does not matter, so ignore it. What you're looking for is growth and gain. Get the highest growth and gain that you can. That's 2, 2, 2. That's 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3. That's a contender. 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. 3, 4. There we go. And we got 2 of those. That's amazing. So now we're going to take those good seeds that we just got and we're going to spend a bunch more wood creating more. Remember, each of these crops really only costs 1 stick. So you're spending a stick and some time to create better seeds. And let me show you like why you want to do this. I'm going to do so over here. This is with my growth 3, gain 4. I apply, now they're going to grow faster on their own, but I'm going to apply some bone meal just to show you why. I have 18 sugarcane. Now I have 20. That gain 4 means that it's generating multiple sugarcane for one fully grown plant, which is awesome in my mind. Now, it's probably a good idea to take whichever one has stacked up the highest, in this case these, and put them in here, because hopefully you'll be able to use the... In fact, let's test this real quick. Live on camera testing, because that's my favorite kind of testing. We're gonna make some more dayblooms with a couple of yellow flowers, a light blue flower, and an orange flower. Wait a second, did I just remember a recipe? We're all doomed. Run while you can. The world is ending. Put this in my hotbar. So, couple of Lasai. Couple of yellow petals, a light blue petal, an orange petal. There you go. You can use your excess AgriCraft seeds in Botania. So, don't throw them away, but also don't hang on to a ton of the same type. It probably makes sense only to hang on to the one that has stacked the highest, and then hopefully you'll have a nice place to dispose of the rest. And you can do so with a shift control. Actually, no, you can't. Alt-click works. Control-Alt-click, Shift-Control-Alt-click. There we go. If you Shift-Control-Alt-click, you will throw away all of the same type of seed. Hopefully, only that one type. And that's all it takes to get some good seeds going, or at least some good seed research going. Now, let's make use of these nature seeds to complete that quest, and we're also going to set up another crop farm for the nature seeds because nature seeds are very, very important. They provide nature essence, and that's what they provide essence of nature, and that's one of the most useful essences you can have early on. You can make vines, lily pads, mycelium, which is awesome. You can get the charm of poison eventually, and you can make magical food with it, which restores 6 hunger and provides 5 seconds of regen 2 every time you eat it. Getting a good setup for magical food is actually really possible in this pack and is really, really nice. Also, it can be used to make the magical fertilizer, which we'll talk about briefly. It's necessary to get great wood saplings. You need it for silverwood saplings. Nature essence is super important to this pack. As such, you really want to get a full set of it, a full setup with some really strong nature essence seeds. Now, once you get everything up to strength 10, I believe you can start getting like 6 or 8, or maybe it's just 4 products per harvest. Anyway, that means that one of these little 4x4 farms will produce an entire stack when it's fully stocked, which is amazing. Anyway, but I'm not 100% certain on the numbers. We'll have to go through it a bit and see what we get. Now, we will get 6 lily pads, a brown mushroom seed, and a red mushroom spore. Whoops. Grab that up. So we'll claim that reward. And that's when we get to grow, damn it. Frustrated by the ineffectiveness of bone meal on the various essence crops, you've devised a more powerful variant of it, which should accelerate the growth of these crops. You need to produce 1 magic fertilizer. Now, this is where we'll probably run into the fact that this bone meal will not work on the nature seed. I did end up being able to apply it to my essence crop over here, which I'm still not 100% certain on. It seems like there's something a little wrong with that. I don't know if there's a bug involved or what's going on. But, as you can see, my bone meal is not really applying to the nature crop. So between this episode and next, I'm going to grow a whole bunch of these nature crops, and I'm going to harvest them, just going to give it time to run. And this is also something that I might highly recommend putting on a server with some form of chunk loader, but I don't know if there's a chunk loader available. Let's check for chicken chunks. No. Let's check for chunk. No. Let's check for dimension. No. Well, Railcraft will provide you with the anchor, the world anchor, though I have no idea if the cost is turned on. And also, this is going to take a while. Oh, yes, you are expected to make these because he has made a custom recipe using mana steel and mana pearls. So yes, you are eventually able to keep the world chunk loaded using world anchors. It is highly recommend you do so when you're able to, and we'll definitely be working towards that. That way, it can literally grow overnight while I actually sleep in the real world. Thank you very much for joining me, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. If so, please leave a thumbs up and tell me what you liked. If not, leave a thumbs down and tell me what you didn't. It is very important that you interact with the videos if you want to see me keep showing up in your subscriber feed, because YouTube keeps messing with the way the subscriber thing works. And if you subscribe, you're not guaranteed to actually see my videos unless you interact with them regularly. Despite you subscribing, YouTube thinks that it knows better than you what you like and is going to show you what it feels it should. Because they're jerks. That's the only possible explanation I can come up with. They're just giant jerks. So, yeah, there's that. That's a thing that happens, and I'm annoyed about it, and I'll probably rant about it in a vlog sometime soon. Alright, folks, see you next time.